welcome to Simple SQL. Today we're going to be talking about keys and what that means in a database. If you don't already have Management Studio open, go ahead and open it, connect to your local instance of SQL Server, and open a new query window. Let's also go ahead and point that query window at our database. Use Simple SQL. There we go. We can now see that we're pointed at the right database. Okay, so what is a key? Well, in order to understand what a key is, we need to make sure that we understand what a table is. So a table in SQL Server, you can think of it kind of like an Excel spreadsheet. All of your rows define an individual object, and all of the columns define a property about it. So let's think about cars. Let's make a table for cars. Create table cars. Okay, so what do we know about cars? Every car has a make and a model and a year, and year is a keyword, so we're going to put that in square brackets. And note, there are better data types for this, but we're only going to be using the 4 data types that we've learned about. We can change this kind of stuff later. Right now, we're just going to be using the data types that we know about. But a thing that we don't have on this car right now is something that's unique, that identifies the car. And you might think license plate, but your license plate number can change over the lifetime of the car. But one thing that does not change is your VIN number. So a VIN would be what we would think of as a primary key for a car. There's only one for every car, and it does not change throughout the lifetime of the car. I don't actually know how long a VIN number is, so I'm just going to make it 200 characters like my other fields up there. But what I'm going to do that's different is I'm going to say primary key. It does a number of different things when we declare a column as the primary key. One of the most important things it does is it makes it unique. It means it has to be unique and it can't be null. And what we haven't really talked about null, but what a null value is where you just don't tell it, right? So if we try to run this, we can see it complete successfully. And then we're going to use what we learned last episode about inserting to try a few things out here, right? So we'll say insert into cars, make model in square brackets year and VIN, right? And let's say that we have values of Kia Optima, 2018. And this is a date time too, so I'm going to give it a little bit more here. And a VIN number, this is going to be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, right? So when we do this, we expect it to work. We're going to go ahead and try throwing that in, and we get one row affected. We can select that back out. And if you'll remember, select star means select all columns from a table name. So we're going to say select star from cars. We highlight just the portion we want to run. And we can see we've got our Kia Optima. It's 2018, and it's got a VIN number of A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, great. So what if we want to put another one in there that is A, B, C, D, E, F, H? Okay, so everything else is the same about it. It's 2 cars, same make, model, and year, different VIN number. That works just fine. Now we've got 2 cars in there. Okay, fantastic. But what if we try to add another car with a VIN number that we're already using? Let's try and put this same car in again, and we see we get a violation of the primary key constraint. Cannot insert duplicate key in object DBO cars. The duplicate key value is A, B, C, D, E, F, H. So that is what I'm talking about when I say it must be unique. So every entry in our table must have a primary key, and I'll show you. So if we don't put anything for this, we're going to type out this word here, null, which means that it is unknown, right? So if we try to put a null value into our VIN, we also get cannot insert the value null into column VIN. It does not allow nulls. And so you have to provide a VIN value, and the VIN value has to be unique for every row. So that's some of the properties of a primary key, so that we can always identify which car is which by just that key. All of this other information is just fluff, right? This is the thing that uniquely defines every row in our table. Okay, so what do we use that for? Why is it important that it's unique? Why is it important that it has to have a value? And the reason it's important is because of foreign keys. So what a foreign key is when you reference the primary key of a different table. So let's make another table here. We're going to call it insurance, right? So we've got a policyholder. We've got a policy number. And this is going to be our primary key here. Right, so the policy number of our insurance policy. And we are also going to have the car that it applies to. So we're going to have VIN listed here. And it needs to be the same data type as the primary key we're referencing. So we'll say VIN varchar 200 foreign key references cars. So we have the table and then the column in parentheses after it, right? And so now if we create our table insurance, let's try and put some values in there. Let's go insert into insurance, policyholder, policy number, and VIN. And let's go values. We'll have a policyholder of Mr. Person. Capitalize his name too. And a policy number of 12345-ABC. And a VIN number. Let's try one that we think will work first. How about our A, B, C, D, E, F, H car up there? All right, so let's go ahead and do that. And that worked just fine. Let's go ahead and select that out and see what we get. Select star from insurance. And run that. Okay, and you can see that that went right in, right? So let's get another policy. Let's go ABC, ABD. There we go. And let's try and put on a car that doesn't exist. Let's put it on AAAAAAA. All right, and when we do this, it'll tell us it failed because of a foreign key constraint. The conflict occurred in this database based on the cars table and the column VIN. Right, so it's saying that this VIN number, this AAAAA VIN number, does not exist in our cars table. So the reason this is important is because anytime we add a VIN number into the insurance table, it has to exist in the cars table. Now, unlike a primary key, unless we specifically tell it, a foreign key can be null, right? We can have no value there, right? So let's go ahead and make a policy on a null vehicle, and we'll see that that went in just fine. Okay, so now we've got our policy 12345 ABC, 12345 ABD. The first one is on a valid vehicle, and the second one is on no vehicle. That is the basics of what a primary key is, what a foreign key is, and how those relate to each other. In the next episode, we're going to go over joins and how these keys affect joins. So thank you for joining me, and I will talk to you later.